The show starts in 10,
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome.
8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Fight fans, this is the 13th round where we discuss all things boxing that are boxing. And on this edition of the 13th round, we will recap all of last weekend's boxing action. Turkey Al-Sheikh is also back in the news, doing boxing fans a major solid. And we will discuss the big news of today, Teofimo Lopez being in negotiations with Jaron Boots Ennis. But before we get to it, how we do it, be sure that you hit the like button. Top Rank and ESPN held a card this weekend that was a card full of rematches. We had two action-packed rematches in the co-main and main event on the card, and this card was in Footprint, Arizona. That's in Phoenix, at the Footprint Center in Phoenix, Arizona, excuse me. But yeah, it was a wonderful card, man, and the main event was a rematch between Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez. Now, if you remember in the first fight, Emmanuel Navarrete lumped Oscar Valdez up something very nasty. I mean, he put a beating on Oscar Valdez. Valdez worked his way back up the ranks. I believe he had a few injuries along the way, but you know, he got his rematch with Navarrete. But before the festivities started in the ring, both Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez gave us a car show as they showed up to the Footprint Center in style. And when I say in style, man, you know, it was the battle of the lowriders. So what we're going to do here at Rounds Boxing Club, we're going to have our first Rounds Boxing Club car show. So I want you guys to really pay attention to the rides and the details of the rides, because I mean, these boys pulled up in style. And you know, we're gonna see how Oscar Valdez pulled up on Emmanuel Navarrete. Man, that was amazing ride, man. The colors are beautiful colors on the ride. You saw the hydraulics. Valdez pulled up. You know, he looked ready. That car had beautiful rims. I really liked it. So let's take a look how Navarrete pulled up on Valdez. all I hear is scoop doom doom boom doom boom doom boom doom boom doom doom boom boom doom boom doom boom doom. All my friends drive a low rider. Doom boom doom boom doom boom. But yeah, man. So what I want you guys to do is drop down in the comment section and let me know who you think won the car show heading into the main event on Saturday night between Emmanuel Navarrete and Oscar Valdez, because it's damn close. Man, hit me up, let me know what you guys think. I'll let you know guys know what I think later on in the show. As far as the fight is concerned, well, that was not close at all. Emmanuel Navarrete slapped Oscar Valdez around the ring for the entirety of the fight. And I mean, for the first 5 rounds, Valdez got really manhandled by Navarrete, and the size difference was very much so evident. Valdez went down several times in the fight, and here's a clip of one of the early knockdowns. My man Oscar Valdez was getting dribbled off the canvas. Y'all, you seen him? You seen him. And then, you know, Navarrete went on to finish Oscar Valdez in the 6th round with a very vicious liver shot, and we have the footage. Oh, man, he hit him with a vicious body shot. One more time. Oh, my God, man, that was a very vicious liver shot that Navarrete finished the fight with. Valdez was unable to continue, and it just seems as Oscar Valdez just cannot get over the hump. He can't get over the hump. Anytime it's, you know, that big fight, it always gets away from Oscar Valdez. But big shout out to Emmanuel Navarrete for his victory, his second victory in the rematch over Oscar Valdez. Now, in the co-main event was another rematch, and this rematch was between Rafael Espinosa and Robeisy Ramirez. This fight was very, very interesting because in the first fight, Robeisy Ramirez was the favorite in that fight, and Rafael Espinosa pulled off what probably was considered one of the biggest upsets of 2023 when he upset Robeisy Ramirez. Well, now it's time for the rematch. And man, this fight had a little controversy in it. I thought in the first of all, let me explain to you, for those of you who have never seen Rafael Espinosa. You know, these guys are fighting at 130 pounds. Rafael Espinosa walks around every bit of 6'1", maybe 6'2". He's a very big 130 pounds. And, you know, he's the Sebastian Fundora of the 130-pound division. But unlike Fundora, I find that Rafael Espinosa does carry a little muscle mass for that weight division. Fundora ain't nothing but skin and bones at 154. You know what I'm saying? You can tell. It's a difference. But back to this fight, the rematch with Robeisy Ramirez. Robeisy came out. I thought he was boxing well early. Rounds 1 through 3, I thought Robeisy looked good, getting in and out. Good body shots, landed a few uppercuts in the fight. But in round 4, it seemed as if Robeisy Ramirez was starting to slow down. And watching that fight, you see Robeisy, he's moving a lot. He didn't sit down on his punches too much early in that fight. And to the naked eye, it appeared as if Robeisy Ramirez was gassing out. But Robeisy, you know, he got an eye injury in the 4th round, and he fought through it. 5th round, you can start to see Rafael Espinosa start to turn the tides in the fight. And the fight started going Espinosa's way. Espinosa started kind of walking Robeisy down. Robeisy was not as mobile. So, like I say, to the naked eye, it's looking as if Robeisy is slowing down. And me watching the fight, honestly, I started to think that Robeisy's only way to win the fight was by knockout, because the way it was looking, I was thinking Robeisy is not going to be able to make it 12 rounds at this pace. Espinosa was picking up every round, and Robeisy was already looking on the decline. Well, this fight ended in a weird way. In the 6th round, Rafael Espinosa, at the beginning of the 6th round, caught Robeisy Ramirez with a right hand to Robeisy's eye, and Robeisy waved off the fight and said no mas. So this fight is starting to be considered as no mas 2024. And I hate that for Robeisy Ramirez, but I'll tell you what, Rafael Espinosa is a problem. I think he's gonna give everybody hell at 130 pounds. Yeah, this kid can fight. So, the world should be on notice about Rafael Espinosa. And I just want to congratulate Rafael Espinosa as well on his victory over Robeisy Ramirez. Yeah, so the controversy came in when Robeisy Ramirez afterwards was asked what happened in the post-fight interview, and Robeisy said that he got received an elbow, a flagrant elbow from Rafael Espinosa. And when you're watching the fight, you don't see anything egregious. As I was watching the fight, when they were translating that, I was calling BS. I didn't see an elbow. But sometimes when you go back and you actually look for something, you find it, and that's exactly what I did. I wanted to see if I could validate what Robeisy was saying. Did he really get hit by an elbow from Rafael Espinosa? And here is the verdict. You guys judge for yourself. Ooh. Man, I think Robeisy does have a case. I've seen fighters try to fight through their orbital bone, and that could have been what broke his orbital bone. And when Rafael Espinosa hit him with that right hand in that same eye, since it was already broke, that pain was a little bit different, and he didn't want to go on with the fight. He said, "Shit, you're not about to keep hitting me in the same eye." You can really lose your boxing career that way and do real permanent damage. So I think Robeisy did do the right thing. But if you look at what Espinosa did, Espinosa threw that left hook and he pulled that guard of Robeisy's down. That's an old school trick. He was trying to pull it down, but Robeisy stayed strong, and he definitely he finished with the elbow. he finished with the elbow. I want to see it one more time. I just got to see. Looks like you guys tell me what you think in the comment section. Do you think Espinosa hit Robesi with an elbow? Do you think this elbow that I'm about to show you, do you think that was the cause of Robesi quitting and saying no mas in his rematch with Rafael Espinosa? Yeah, when you see it right there, man, look like he finished with that elbow. Over on the zone, you had Liam Perro taking on Richardson Hitchens. And this was for the IBF Junior Welterweight Championship of the World. And this fight started off very competitive. I thought Liam Perro was doing a pretty good job early in the fight. But Richardson Hitchens, you know, he put on a show. He put on a boxing clinic. Once he got in his rhythm, he got in his groove. Yeah, he was flowing, man, and he did his thing. And he ended up winning a split decision over Liam Perro, and that catapulted him to his first world title. Richardson Hitchens is now the IBF Junior Welterweight Champion of the world. This is his first championship. Major shout out to my boy Richardson Hitchens. And Richardson Hitchens actually went on to call out Teofimo Lopez in his post-fight interview.
You want to do next?
I want Teofimo in New York, Brooklyn, unification. I think that would be one of the biggest fights of 2025, a very lucrative fight, a very big fight. And like I said, I don't belong in the ring with nobody else but the top level in boxing.
All right. Right now, we're going to have a pause from the calls as we have a quick message from Mr. James, Lights Out Tony.
Yo, what's up? This is James, Lights Out Tony, the one only. Please go subscribe to Ron's Boxing Club. My people, great people. I guarantee you go to the gym, check them out. Lights out, baby, all day, every day.
All right. Speaking of Teofimo Lopez, Richardson Hitchens calling out Teofimo Lopez. Teo got a lot on his plate. You know what I'm saying? Teo is in major negotiations and has big boots to fill now that Teo's been calling out Terrence Crawford, Gervonta Davis. Who else Teo been calling out? Devin Haney. Anybody Teo looking for the big fight, the big payday. Teo won't smoke. He calling folks out their names, little racial slurs, but we not gonna play the race game with him. I'm a Teofimo fan. I like to watch Teofimo. But big news, Bob Arum has announced that negotiations between Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Boots Ennis are now underway. And just last week, we were calling Jaron Boots Ennis a duck. And just when I thought Boots couldn't get any dumber, he goes and does something like this and totally redeems himself. I love it. That's one of my favorite scenes on Dumb and Dumber. But seriously, y'all, you know, I like the fight. I think it's a wonderful fight. Jaron Boots Ennis versus Teofimo Lopez. And a lot of people think Boots is just going to slaughter gang and walk over Teofimo Lopez, and that could be the case. You know, I'm not opposed to saying he won't or will not. But I cannot negate the fact that Teofimo Lopez has a major experience advantage over Jaron Ennis. Teofimo Lopez also has his best performances in big fights. Teofimo Lopez also has had some of his biggest knockouts in Madison Square Garden And that's exactly where this fight will take place, is what I'm hearing. Teofimo Lopez is scheduled to fight in MSG in March of 2025. So I imagine that they're trying to negotiate this fight. You know, Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn in the zone, they are trying to negotiate this fight. And I really believe it's going to happen. Now that it's out in the news, because Jaron Ennis was just in the news for ducking Virgil Ortiz. The last thing Boots will want to do right now is shy away from this fight with Teofimo Lopez if Teofimo is indeed willing to step up and call out Boots. I think it's a wonderful fight, and if it's gonna happen in March, that's just another big fight card to add to the first quarter of the year. So I'm looking forward to it, man, and that brings us to today's question of the day. All right. Today's question of the day is, how do you as a boxing fan feel about the news of Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis being in negotiations? Do you want to see that fight happen? Who do you think wins if the fight happens? Be sure to hit us up. The phone lines are open. You can also drop down in the comment section. This is a live stream. It's being filmed in the wee hours of the night. So if you don't get to call in, be sure to drop down in the comment section. Let us know how you feel about this news about Teofimo Lopez and Jaron Ennis having a possible showdown in Madison Square Garden in March. The number to hit us up at is 213-495-7337. Once again, that number is 213-495-PEDs. We don't believe in cheating, but sometimes if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Hit us up, 213-495-7337. And also, if this fight is made, I expect it to be a big fight card. Bob, they're going to put something real big together for this fight card. Also, on this weekend, I got more updates from this past weekend's fights. Richard Torres, he got a big knockout. Mark Castro, he got upset. Mark Castro got upset. Who else fought? Somebody else. That whole top rank card was full of knockouts. Somebody else got knocked out on that top rank card. Yeah, but I just thought about those. I wanted to add those in there. Let's talk about Turki Al-Sheikh. Once again, Turki Al-Sheikh is back in great boxing graces with the fans, as he has announced the big February 22nd Artur Beterbiev Dmitry Bivol rematch will be $19.99 in the United States of America. This is a hell of a fight card. I pay way more for a lot less. I am very much so appreciative of Turki Al-Sheikh. We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Big shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh. This upcoming weekend, Jaime Munguia will be back in action as he takes on Bruno Sarachi. And then my man, Muradajan Akhmadaliev, will be taking on Picanto. Who number one out right now? Who he fighting? Look, Muradajan Akhmadaliev gonna be back. I wrote some scribble scratch down. I don't know what that boy. I must have wrote that with my feet. Anyway, Muradajan Akhmadaliev will be back in action. Natasha Jonas will be taking on Ivana Habazin. That will be a wonderful fight. I'm a big fan of Natasha Jonas. She is really peaking right now. She is on a good win streak. Alexis Rocha will be back in action, and he's taking on Raul Curiel. that should be a wonderful fight as well. So we got a few fights to watch this weekend. I'm looking forward to seeing every last one of them if possible. You know what I'm talking about? So right now I'm going to get Floyd Mayweather to help us put the boom and the bap back in the trap. Just hold on, give me a snap. Watch Floyd Mayweather rap.
These hating ass niggas can't fuck with me. It's like 4 to the 5, 5 to the 6. Hating ass niggas all in my mix. It's like 6 to the 7, 7 to the 8. The 38 specialist set these niggas straight. It's like 8 to the 9, 9 to the 10. This a freestyle, I ain't use no pen. We getting money, yep. We hustling, yep. We got them guns, yep. We by the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. We getting money, yep. We hustlin', yep. We got them guns, yep. We by the bar, yep. We got them cars, yep. We poppin' tags, yep. We ballin', yep. I said we ballin', yep. It's like King Dong, I'm like King Kong. I play bitch niggas like ping pong. Got a lot of cheddar, young Mayweather. Got my shit straight, get your shit together. Real cocky, real flashy. You in the wrong lane, you can't pass me. They see the cars, they see the chips, they see the hoes, they on my dick. I make it storm, I make it rain.
All right, so I told y'all about the car show. We'll go revisit the car show. Let's look at the cars one more time before I tell y'all who I think won the first annual Rounds Boxing Club car show. Let's look at these cars. Let's see how Oscar Valdez pulled up one more time. I hope YouTube don't hit me with that copyright, man. Oscar Valdez pulled up talking about do the dog catcher, do the dog catcher. Valdez had them white walls, I'm gonna tell you what set that one off. The color, I like the contrast with that pink, fuchsia, and blue. You know what I'm talking about? Jay-Z said that's mauve. But the white walls, but what really set that off was them butterfly doors. When they got out them butterfly doors, that set Valdez's car off right there. So let's look at how Navarrete pulled up one more time. Navarrete, the inside of that inside was the interior. So the rims, both of the rims had white walls. They I gotta go with Valdez, man. I think the butterfly door sold me. I think Oscar Valdez has won the first annual Rounds Boxing Club car show. So big shout out to Oscar Valdez and Emmanuel Navarrete for participating in our car show. Ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to rock out before we clock out and shout out a few of our wonderful subscribers. You know how we do here at Rounds Boxing Club. Let's get it. Big shout out to Salvador Pinata. Shout out to Gadfly Gang. Shout out my main man, Son of Apollo. Shout out Bernie the Boxer. Shout out Moneyman123. Shout out Mr. Theo. Shout out my main man, Bliss Matthews. Shout out my guy, Ray Walker. Shout out JC Hahn. Shout out Royalty Boxing Club, the best boxing club on Facebook. You are an avid boxing fan and you want to talk your talk, be sure to head on over and check us out. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 13th round. I'm your host, Coach Rounds. You know the drill. As always, like, subscribe, protect yourself at all times. We out. Peace.